Hello everyone, my name is Zenitsu, and I'm back with another Digimon video. Recently we just got a couple of new cards spoiled from the new starter decks that are coming out in Japan, so let's just go over them. First up, we have Slayerdramon. So Slayerdramon is a blue level 6 Digimon. He has a play cost of 11, Digivolves for 3, and has 11,000 DP. So stat-wise, he's doing nothing too special there, but he has two abilities. His first ability is a when Digivolved ability, where during this turn, this Digimon gains Security Attack +1. So we've seen something very similar to this all the way back in BT01 in the form of War Greymon, so seeing it here is definitely really nice, just because it allows blue to have the ability to hit for more than one security, because blue, for the most part, has been relying on multi-attack, and they really haven't been relying on Security Attack +1, so just having a little bit of variance is always nice. And then on top of which, it has another ability, where during your turn, this Digimon cannot be blocked. So we have another unblockable Digimon that gives himself Security Attack +1, so that's just pretty good overall. Even without the Security Attack +1, just having an unblockable Digimon is still relatively strong, because if blue can break a lot of their security early on or quick enough, then you could just get into Slayerdramon and then just swing with Slayerdramon in order to close out the game. So I definitely really like what this card is doing, and I think he's definitely a really interesting card. I don't know if he's going to be like super highly meta competitive, but he's definitely a fun card to play with nonetheless. Next up, we have V Wingblade. So V Wingblade is a new blue option card, and it has a play cost of 6, with the main ability to be able to return one of the opponent's level 6 or less Digimon back to their hand, and then you discard any evolution sources underneath that Digimon, if it had any, so your usual bounce effect. And then it has the security ability to activate its main effect. So basically, this is just a step down from Cocytus Breath, considering Cocytus Breath can hit anything, and this can only hit level 6 or less, but considering the game maxes out at level 7 currently, I don't think that's that big of a deal that it can't hit level 7s, but it's definitely really nice to see that they're still playing around with blue removal option cards, considering blue doesn't exactly have the best ways of interacting with the opponent's Digimon in a more meaningful manner, so I definitely think that this is a interesting option card. I don't know if it's exactly what they need, but it's still nice that they're trying to do stuff with blue and how they're wanting to remove cards and interact with the opponent's Digimon. Next up, we have a new Digitama for Red, so we finally get to learn what Red's Digitama is in the starter deck, and it is Guilmon. So what Guilmon is doing is he has the inheritable skill where once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon gets deleted during this turn, then this Digimon gains plus 2000 DP. So we kind of already knew that Guilmon is a more control style deck, where the whole theme of Guilmon is trying to fill up the opponent's trash and delete a lot of their Digimon, and Guilmon is a pretty decent card at giving you a good DP buff for doing basically everything that Guilmon wants to be doing. We already knew what the Guilmon was doing, so I'll just leave that here, and you could always refer to my video previously if you want to know what he's doing. But we do have a new Greymon. So Greymon, being a red level 4, has some pretty okay stats. Play cost of 4, Evos for 2, 5000 DP, nothing too special there, so just okay stat-wise. But what's really good about the card is he has a really nice inheritable skill. So his inheritable skill is during your turn, once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon gets deleted, then you get to gain 1 memory. So Guilmon is the draw engine, where he's basically doing the same thing, except you're going to be drawing a card. And we have a memory engine in the form of Greymon, and we have a DP engine in the form of Digimon. So the evolution line really just wants to delete your opponent's Digimon, and then you'll be rewarded for it. So Greymon is definitely a really good card, because playing around with the memory is definitely something very, very powerful and something that you really want to be doing, because essentially it just makes a lot of your plays more powerful, and it makes a lot of your other cards more efficient to run. Next up, we have a new War Greymon. So War Greymon is a red level 5 Digimon, and he doesn't exactly have the most surprising stats in the world. It's just a play cost of 8, Evos for 3, 8000 DP, so nothing too special to talk about there. But he does have 2 really decent abilities. So his first ability is his innate ability, where he has a when attacking ability where you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. So this is really good because you could start utilizing these cards relatively early on because he has a recursive way to delete the opponent's Digimon, which is pretty decent. Yes, you do have to be swinging, which means you are risking him to being deleted by the security check, but depending on the types of cards that you utilize him with, that could be mitigated because red has a whole bunch of DP boosts, and you could still utilize even just some of these cards to a great effectiveness, whether it's just draw a card or just to gain a memory. It's still pretty decent to have. But what you're really going to be utilizing the card for is more for his inheritable skill, where during your turn, once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon gets deleted this turn, then this Digimon gains security attack +1. So red already has a whole bunch of really powerful and really easy ways to delete the opponent's Digimon. So you could utilize cards like Victory Greymon or the old Guilmon to just be able to just delete some of the opponent's Digimon when you Digivolve up into them. And then if they're able to swing that turn, then they are going to be able to utilize that security attack +1. And then we already know that the new Guilmon has really good synergy with this, just because he has a very similar effect to what War Greymon is already doing, where he has a when attacking ability where when you swing, he could delete a Digimon that's 4000 DP or less. And then I think this interacts with piercing. So like if you're utilizing piercing to attack into the opponent's Digimon and delete it that way, then I think you get the security attack +1 before the security check. So it might work with those as well. So it's just a really decent and really powerful card to just give your Digimon some extra punch for just doing the things that they're already doing. And then the last new card that we got shown is a new version of Shine Greymon. So Shine Greymon is a pretty interesting card because stat-wise he's not really doing anything too special. He has a play cost of 12, evos for 4, 12,000 DP. We've seen the stat line so many times before that it's not really anything too noteworthy, but he does have 2 keywords. So he doesn't have really any innate abilities of his own, but he does have 2 very powerful keywords that can be very, very devastating depending on how you build and utilize the card. So his first keyword is he has security attack +1, so he's naturally just going to be hitting for at least 2 security, and then on top of that he has piercing, which makes it even harder for the opponent to want to block him, so that way you're always going to be guaranteeing essentially that you're going to be getting 2 or more security checks, again, all depending on how you build the card. So I really like this type of design where they're just trying to give a card a couple of keywords, and then basically it is up to you, the player, to decide how you want to utilize this card to his utmost potential. So you could utilize him with more security attack pluses and try to really stack him with a whole bunch of instances of security attack plus to make sure that he could hit for even more security, or you could really double down on his piercing ability and pair him up with some other cards that interact with piercing. So it's really just how you want to build and customize the Digimon to fit your needs and really make good use out of the cards that we currently have in the card pool, just because he can synergize and interact with quite a lot of cards. So that's all of the new cards that we got shown. Feel free to tell me your thoughts on any of the cards down in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next video.